Hey y'all, Countryman here. A friend of mine is a pretty good author. He's written several books, and he came out with a new one. And I want to show it to you. It's a guide to sheltering in place by Bryan, aka Zion Prepper. The Prepper Survival Guide series. And it is an Amazon bestseller. Now it's taken me 3 weeks to read this book because I just read a little bit every night before I go to bed and I get sleepy and go to bed. But in this book he goes into what are we doing if we're going to shelter in place. During the Boston bombing, the police and the National Guard and everybody wanted people to stay inside. That was only for like a day and a half, 2 days. Most of us could stay in the house for 2 days. I usually do it. I go to the mailbox every day. Besides that, I'm in the house most all month long. I really don't go anywhere. But a lot of people are out on the go. If you had a national disaster or a flood or the roads were washed out and you couldn't get out of the house, or a chemical explosion like down in Texas when the fertilizer plant blew up, could you stay in your house for a week or two at a time? Or, as preppers, we tend to have an extra, little extra food set by. This is a guide on what to do and how to prepare if you got a shelter in place. And it goes into why shelter in place, and the survival triangle, which is water, food, shelter, heat. What do we got to do to survive? And all the legs of the triangle there that we can get into. It talks about the medical supplies, what we may need. And has anybody got their prescriptions or an extra, say, month or two of their prescriptions saved back? I need to talk to my doctor about getting extra prescriptions. A lot of them won't give it to you. I need to check in on that myself. His book goes into like the medical supplies and first aid. Communications, how do we communicate? If the grid goes down, we don't have our internet and cell phones. Do we have an old CB radio hanging around, or a crank AM FM radio, or a broadband that we can get information from? It's just something to think about. He goes into several different things about lighting and, a flashlight, what size batteries we need, coil oil lamp, Aladdin's lamp, how are we going to get electricity. Heating, he talks about several different kinds of stoves. If you're up here in the north, like I am, it gets down below 20, below zero sometimes. If you get a wind chill factor, it might get down to 30, and I'm just in Ohio. I can't imagine living up in Alaska where 60 below is not uncommon, and 20, 30 below is normal during the winter. But basic sheltering in place, what if, if you do have
virus database has
one or
been
more
updated.
of these things in place, what if you run out of cool oil, or you run out of white gas for your stove? What do you have to replace those? Do you have candles? Do you have wood chop back or anything, or some place to keep your other ways of keeping you warm and the house lit? Redundancies is a good thing to have. This book goes into this. And how long to shelter in place? It talks about till the situation, the government usually gets back in hand, and what we can do to stay in place, and how do we stay in contact. And one of the best things that I have seen in I've never seen it in any book, it goes into talking about the temperature to store our preps at, why we should use oxygen absorbers and moisture and so forth. And it's got 2 whole pages on food storage life sustaining shelf life estimates. When you go to a store and you buy a thing of Jiffy Mix cornmeal, and it has an expiration date on it. That doesn't mean take it off the shelf after that expiration date and throw it away. If you know how to prep those and freeze it for a while and then vacuum seal it, there's a lot of things that will last for years. Well, this goes into all the home basics: apple slices, butter, margarine, garden seeds, granola, honey salt, honey oats, anything, unbleached flour. The years, if stored properly, how long they will last. That's one thing I didn't know, is how long the things will last. This is a good book for the basic prepper, beginner survivalist, whatever you want to call it. It's a guide to sheltering in place by Bryan Foster, aka Zion Prepper. Good friend of mine. Check him out. His book's on Amazon. He's got a couple of other books out there. The Christian Prepper is one of them, and just look up Zion Prepper on Amazon, and all of his books are there. And this was a good read for me. I learned a lot. It is for the beginner prepper, and it tells you all the basics that you need to do and need to have. And that's where I'm at in my life on my prepping journey. I have a lot of knowledge, and I am thankful to God for that. But as far as preps put back, I'm on the thin side. So any information that I can get on books and prepping and stuff like that, on what I need to do, this is a good go-to book to check it out and see what you think. God bless. Countryman out. Go check out my buddy Zion, his new book, A Guide to Sheltering in Place by Bryan Foster, aka Zion Prepper. Thank you.